So psychological science was my first inspiration. I firstly I have firstly knew that at that point, at the time when I was in university, the I knew that if in some case I use I turn this psychological sense, I can bring a psychological sense of the society, then we can improve many different things, or a huge change of the society. Then before that also, I was in my back when I am in my school. I was in my school, and after school degree level, also high secondary level, I was not very interested to studies, but I know that I don't really get interest to the studies. I was not very bad, not very good. I was a moderate student. So at that time, my father, mother was always put me a pressure that you should have learned properly, that your peers are doing. So I was also give my best to improve my result, but the thing is, the result is not coming very satisfactorily. So by the time, on my mind, I was thinking that is there are some different ways beyond result, beyond these things. If study could be a prosperous thing, a good thing for us, by which teaching learning process is not impose us as a pressure, but we get from there some joy, because I had not found great joy in my studies, because there were not any inspiration back. So my school days are going as a mediocre student, and when the first days came, like class 8 to class 10, so it was for me a drastic disaster for me, because at that time I've found many difficulties, because pressure of mine, and also I have lots of tuitions, 2 3 tuitions, and for that I cannot handle my studies in a proper way. So at that point I find a book, Albert Einstein. So from that book I realize one thing, that there is joy in studies, but our teachers are not imparting us that joy. How can we find that joy in my studies? So I learned many books. After that book, I read Napoleon Hill book. I read Norman Vincent Peale's book, Dream, about our dreams. How should be our life and what should be our dream? I read there many things about our life, perspective of life, and how we see and how we perceive, how we see. We may see life as a this thing, this narrow thing, and we can see life as a this vast, broad way. But to see these things, you have to know the way. So there I found the way how we should see the life. But when I see in our school days, now also, they put lots of students in the same class, same dress, and as a result, as a consequence of that, many are get disappointment, many are become exploited. Please understand these things. Because why exploited? Because they're not capable for this particular things. They may excel in different things, but they are not excel in the way that our board, our society has imposed. Our society has imposed a way that if this student will go through this way, they will success on that on after crossing that path only. But when I studied these materials, when I studied these books, I found that no, there is lots more ways. From this is a very narrow way. This is not the ending point. There is lots more beyond this. So after searching, after studying these books, I get a power, and this power was always with me till the end of the class 10. I was thinking that I will do whatever I want to do. Whatever. I'll not going for any job. I'll get job, but I'll not more emphasize on job. After class 10, after I got admit in the higher secondary at a college. So that time also I studied as a mediocre, but my matrix result was not so expectable, because though I was a mediocre student, but my teachers were expecting from me to I will get first division and a later one or two subjects, but I disappoint them. But so they are not interested in me at the time. Very disappointed with the results. But the thing is, my mind was at the time, I was reading lots of books from religion, from society, lots of books, because at the time I was not interested to study these things, this geometry, this English chapters, this Assamese. No one particular, none of these subjects cannot agree me to study. So after that, my high secondary results was good as compared to that previous result. I got first class and one later was one subject in later marks. Then I appeared for this BA course in geography. I got an entrance in geography, but there also my whole journey of this study, I saw some lack, because I was also good at geography at that time. But the thing is, back of my mind always I wanting to explore something more, more, because these books are not linked up with my heart. My heart is wanting some more. I did many studies from all scriptures, from Gita, Bhagavad, Veda, Upanishad, Puran, from Bible, from the Quran, all religious books. Then all the theories or scientific theories, I was very passionate about this theories, scientific theory, Big Bang theory, the theory of the energy. So I was passionate about these things. Why these theories? E is equal to mc square. Wow, these theories are very passionate. Though I was not a science student, but I was very passionate about these theories, these things. So after that, my results was not very good at the time. So I studied, I passed, but second division in my degree level. After that, I pursued for MSW, Master in Social Work. But this social work subjects, I get some passion, because that subject was related to this social sector. But when I see the whole scenario of what these social workers do really, because they are doing some field work, but they put there some false that things, informations. So how can I put false information to some documents, and by that they will earn some money? That was very unexpected for me. That was very weird things for me. So I was at that point so disappointed, because this also not